Hey guys, I want to share with you a bit of a story just so you can see more of the heart behind the Hard Places community. We had a case where these young teens were being sold by their mother. They were being sold in our local park, and they were 12 and 13, and they would sit in my office in between customers with tears running down their face and say, guys, please talk to my mother. Please make it stop. And this mother had already lost her oldest daughter at 17 from consequences of sexual exploitation. Her daughter died. And so we were heartbroken for these two girls. We knew them well. We were horrified at what was happening to them, but we couldn't get the local police to move on the case because they were almost 15, which is adult age in Cambodia. The government was just trying to weigh it out and wait. If they turned 15, then they wouldn't have to move on the case and they wouldn't look bad. And so one of our staff, who's this little tiny girl, she's like 4 feet tall, she came up with an idea. And we had a team that was coming soon from Clinton and Jackson, Mississippi to do a short-term mission trip and to minister to our children. And there was a doctor on that team and a dentist that was going to be on that team. And so my staff, she went to the park that day and she approached all the pimps, this group of pimps, 7 or 8 people who were involved in selling these children. They would stand there and they would sit the kids on benches and they would wait for the pedophiles to come and to take the girls. And so Noah walked up to them and said, hey, do you guys have any tooth pain? Do you have any issues with your body? Just sign your name right here with your phone number, because guess what? We have a dentist coming and they'll do this free work and they'll help you feel better. And so all of the pimps were so excited. They were like, yes, me, I've got tooth pain. And they can't afford to go to the dentist, so they wrote down their name and their phone number. And when we presented this to the anti-trafficking police, they were like, okay, this is real. We'll try to do a sting. They called those phone numbers and they said, we want a very young child, meet us in the park at 2 o'clock. Our staff witnessed the anti-trafficking police walking up to these pimps. The anti-trafficking police said, here's our money, give me a 12-year-old kid. The pimps handed the 12-year-old over, the money was exchanged, and then boom, they made the arrest. And so all of these pimps went to jail, but the girls that we were close to, their mom wasn't there that day because she had sold her daughter across the state border, and her daughter was so sick from the abuse that she had received in the brothel that her mother was at home tending to her because the girl was so sick. So the mother was at home shaking in her boots, scared to death because all of her friends had just been arrested. And she knew that somebody was going to knock on her door and take her to jail. And in reality, the anti-trafficking police, she hadn't signed her name on the paper, so they didn't even know about her. So I said to our staff, hey guys, that mom, she is broken right now. She is making herself sick with worry, sitting at home waiting on the police to knock on the door. I said, now is the time to go and sit and talk with her, look her in the eye and tell her, hey, there's a God that we know, the living God, and he knows about your daughter who died. He knows you sold these little girls. He knows everything that you've done. And guess what? He loves you. He loves you. He knows your name. He knows your name. He has a plan for you. He loves you. He just wants you to come to him. He just wants you to taste and see that he is good. And so our staff went, and they wound up sitting in her home for 2.5, 3 hours that day, and with no pressure, because she was desperate for him. She came to him full-fledged. She gave her whole life to Jesus Christ that day. And since then, immediately she went back out into the neighborhood and told everybody that she could, I met Jesus, I gave my life to him. He's alive and he's real, and I've surrendered my life to him. I'm turning around from the way I've been living and heading in the complete opposite direction. And so with the Hard Places community, we're not only reaching the children, but we're reaching the parents who sell them. We're reaching their families. And we have great hope for the nations that we work in.